What is up, everybody? This is B-Rock coming at you today with an awesome tip where I'm going to show you how to process a kick drum. I'm going to show you how I process the kick drums for my tracks to help them come through the mix a little bit better, and also take an awesome kick drum sample to a better kick drum sample, and it will help you make the sample not sound 100% like the sample that you got. I get all my samples from Splice. If you don't know what Splice is an awesome place to go to get samples for your tracks. You can get anything from kick drums to bass lines to pads. They have lots of stuff. It's well worth it. It's about $8 a month. I already have the kick drum we're working with today loaded up in the DAW. We're using PreSonus Studio One version 4.5. This can apply to any DAW because all we're doing is processing it. So what I'm going to do is, first things first, once you have a kick drum loaded, you want to make sure that it's mono. So in Studio One, to do that, you'll come to the channel and you'll click on these two circles where it says channel mode. And when it's just one circle, it means it's in mono. I like to mix my tracks right around -12 each. That will help that the channel does not clip and the sample does not start distorting. So we're going to take this down to -16.3 and see what we got with the sample, and you'll get to hear it. So it's right about where I like it. So now let's get to the fun steps in processing it. The first thing we're going to do is add a compressor. We're going to go ahead and add the Vertigo VSC-2 compressor. I just picked this up about a week or so ago from the Plugin Alliance. It's a very awesome compressor. I love it. I use it on almost every track. So I'm not going to go and explain everything about a compressor. I'll do a little bit, but I'm just going to tell you the settings that are pretty basic with the kick drum. You generally want to have the release down super low so the compressor does not keep compressing into the next kick drum. You want to have a short attack. We're going to usually go between 0.3 and a 1, and then we're going to have the ratio down to soft. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start playing the kick drum, then I'm going to go between a low and high threshold so you can hear the difference, and then we'll find a good medium that we can get some more punch out of the kick, because that's the objective with the compressor. See that when you got right there, it's mainly just a click coming through. So let's go ahead, go right here, and let's toggle off the compressor. So the first thing you can most definitely hear is that it's a lot quieter. So let's go ahead and turn the gain up so that it gets close to the -12. So you can most definitely hear the difference. So I got the gain, so they're roughly around about the same gain. So when I turn the compressor off and turn it back on, you can hear a little bit more punch come from the kick. So this is a pretty good spot for the kick drum with the compressor wise with the punch. So I think it's going to sound really great in the mix. So let's go ahead and add some more effects to it. We're going to start off by adding a stock EQ that comes with Studio One called Pro EQ. So we're going to start off by doing a low cut just to get rid of some of the low frequencies that you can't even hear. It will help make things sound a lot more clean. So let's get going. So we're going to move this till we can hear it affect the track. So that's a little too much. That sounds pretty good. Let's leave it right there for now. So with that cut, we're going to go ahead and add a bump to about the 80 Hertz range. So that sounds pretty good. We're going to give it about a 3 dB gain. So now we're going to remove some frequencies between the 100 and the 200 Hertz range so that we can accentuate that low end right around the 80 Hertz range and get rid of some hollowness from the kick. So we're going to start by doing a high Q on this first node. Let's listen to some frequencies and see which ones are bad. I'm not liking this 116 Hertz. Let's remove it. So now let's go ahead and toggle the EQ off. So now you hear this nasty hollow frequency that we just got rid of by doing that cut. So the kick now sounds a lot more clean. So let's go find another set of frequencies that might not sound good to the kick. So I have found that there's usually some nasty frequencies between the 500 and 1K Hertz range. So let's make another cut. So we're going to go to this other node and raise the Q up pretty high. We're going to search for some frequencies. So the 639 Hertz right here doesn't sound pretty good, so let's go and remove it. Okay. So let's go ahead and remove the EQ. So now you can most definitely tell the difference between the EQ, the kick drum now when the EQ is on and off. It sounds a lot better with the EQ adjustments we have made. So now we're going to go through and add one more EQ on here. We're going to use a plug-in EQ called the Maag Eq4. It is an awesome EQ. I got this from the Plug-in Alliance as well. So what we're going to do with this, we're just going to give this kick a little bump up in the 40 Hertz range, just to give it a little bit extra low end. So now we're going to toggle it off, toggle it on. You can hear the difference it makes just by that small adjustment. It's pretty big. So we've got all the adjustments we made to the kick, so I'm going to start toggling the inserts on and off. So just by toggling those off, you can see that the kick is a little more like bland and not so much punchy, and it doesn't seem like it fit well in a mix. So now, after all those inserts, you've got an awesome sounding kick drum with the changes we have made today. So I want everybody to go ahead, watch this video many times as you need to, and apply this to your tracks. If you like what you heard, please stay tuned to the upcoming tutorials. We are going to use this kick drum and probably about 2 more tutorials coming up. One where we're going to add some other drum elements like some hi-hats, open and close, and some snares, and we'll really get into making a full drum sound that would sound great in any track. And this is how I did some of the drums in my previous tracks. I'm going to show you that turned out really well. So again, if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. Until next time, have a kick-ass day.